And we are live. What is up, right guy?
What's going on? Monday evening, and that song gets me jazzed up all the time.
Oh man, if that doesn't get you pumped up, you are not human. What's up, dude? Happy
Nothing.
Monday, brother.
Same to you. I'm not gonna lie. I just love the person in the back and going the whole time.
Yo, OPP, how can I explain it? Oh yeah. I mean, it's a classic.
Anyways,
What? We are here and we are live. Beautiful hat, by the way. Where'd you get that sucker? Did you get it on our website at www.twodadspodcast.com?
check out the merch. Makes Dan laugh every time.
Check out the merch.
Feels right. I felt naked without it, and I just feel at home now.
Listen, you look fabulous. You look wonderful.
Thank you so
Happy
much.
Monday. And you know what, dude? Can you believe it? We are season 1, episode 4.
Very exciting. A lot of people didn't think we were gonna get here, but
I didn't even think we'd get past episode 1, but we're here.
we are live.
And we are here. I got to tell you, for all the supporters out there, day by day, getting all these texts and phone calls, I'd say 90% of it is pretty positive feedback. So we appreciate that. But no, we are blowing up like the rivers of Babylonia. We went from 1 follower to 118 followers in one week. So we are doing it, right?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's very humbling. We sincerely appreciate the support. We feel good. This is like we said, we really enjoy doing this each week. So we brainstorm, try to come up with topics that are relevant, that are relatable, and we give it a whirl.
Well, Ryan, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Ryan, happy Monday. Happy February 22nd, 2021. You know what? Today's actually, it's a very special day, Ryan.
What's today?
Today's Cameron's 2-month birthday.
My little Cameron. I love him. Such a beautiful little boy. Happy 2-month Cammy.
Thank you. I'll definitely let him know that Uncle Ryan sends your love, his love to him. And 2 months, dude. 2 months until he came out of his mama's womb.
Her womb.
Her womb. And let's just say he was a fighter, and he came out, and I cannot believe it's 2 months. My little boy, he had his 2-month shots today, and Ryan, let's just say that I'm going to need therapy for that one. And, and obviously we'll talk about that later on in the show, but good to see you, brother. Happy Monday. Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready. I think we've already talked about checking out the merch. So why don't you lead us off? You shared a really, really interesting story about your golfing experience over the weekend. So I'm gonna let you go with that.
Yeah, we're gonna go with that. But make sure you guys check out our website at www.twodadspodcast.com. Check out the fresh merch. So it was Ryan. When I called you yesterday telling you this story, I couldn't even keep a straight face. So my good friend, one of my best buddies, his name is Brian. I've known him since high school. So we're both going on a friendship going on over 20 years. We were on the golf team together. We go ways back. And he's just such a good dude. And we haven't golfed in months. And I haven't golfed personally since it's going on 3 months now. About 3 months. So I knew it'd get ugly, but I asked Lindsay, I'm like, I need a little me time. Do you mind if I go golfing with Brian? And he's like, absolutely. She said, absolutely, go have a great time, but you have a 3-hour time limit. I'm like, okay. So
she said, okay.
No, she didn't give me a time limit, but she asked me, okay, well, if you're leaving at 8, so what time are you going to be home? And I said, I don't know. But then Lindsay says, yeah, but if you're leaving at 8, how long will it take you? I'm like, dude, do you want me to be home by a certain time? Just tell me. No. Have a great time. But what time are you going to be home? I said
subliminal messaging.
Oh, totally mind fucking me. And I said, Lynn, what time do you need me home? Have a great time with Brian. Just enjoy yourself. But what time are you going to be home? So I said, okay. So I ended up going. I only played 9 holes, but it was a blast. So for those that are out there that are listening that don't really understand the etiquette of golf, when you go golfing, you have to be playing with a foursome. So with another 3 golfers. So there has to be 4 in total. So if you go out with your buddy, and Ryan, you and I have hit the links quite a few times, so we've experienced quite our fair share for sure. So Brian and I, we went to the golf course on Sunday morning, and we got paired with two random fellas. And I got to tell you, these guys were effing hilarious. So one guy looked like an ex-MMA fighter, ex-hockey player, totally jacked, ripped, had like a $10,000 set of golf clubs. Funniest guy, by the way. Such a good dude. He ends up he lives local, like near where right where in our neighborhood. So funny world. But his best buddy, we called him Big Red. And the reason we call him Big Red is, imagine he's like my height, maybe a little taller. He's like 5'8", 5'9", and just a bigger dude, but full head of red hair. It was stupendous. It was beautiful.
Stupendous.
Dude, if his hair it flowed like the rivers of Babylonia.
Rivers of Babylonia.
So Brian and I, we called him Big Red, and that's what they called him. And dude, Big Red was there to party. He wasn't there to golf. This guy's cracking bottles of Tito's, drinking his beers, taking shots. I turn my back as I'm making a putt. I see him smoking a bong in the background. I'm like, what the hell is happening? It's like a college fraternity or something. It was hilarious. So good dudes. Totally, I'll never forget that round. Ended up getting Big Red's number. So next time we go golfing, if we want some entertainment, we can hang out with Big Red.
Now, let me ask you a question quickly.
Yeah.
Was Big Red a name that they shared with you guys, like call me Big Red, or was this or was this just something that you and Satsy came up with on your own?
Satsy and I, we looked at each other and like, dude, that guy looks like a Big Red. So we called him literally Big Red the whole time.
And he was cool with it.
I don't know if he was high or what was, but he loved it. He was you know what I liked about him? He was a diehard Hurricanes fan.
Okay.
So that I'm like, all right, this guy's my grandma, as my Gigi, as my grandma Carolyn says, he's a good doobie. So
literally a good doobie.
Literally a good doobie smoking a doobie. So dude, I shit you not, Brian and I were laughing the whole time. I can't even make a putt because I'm hearing this guy coughing, choking on his ball. It was freaking hilarious. Oh, but the best part is I wanted to get Lindsay nervous. So I'm like, Lindsay, yeah, Big Red made me a few drinks. And I shared the cup with him. And she says, who the hell is Big Red and why are you sharing a cup with him? I said, what do you mean? He seemed like a good guy. His fever went away. I'm sure he's fine. And she said, wait a minute. This is COVID. What the hell are you doing sharing drinks with random people? So Brian and I literally had Lindsay going for like 5 minutes. And then obviously I was teasing her. But it was awesome. So to Big Red and big hockey dude, awesome playing golf with you. Hopefully we see you guys soon. Hopefully you guys listen to the podcast. You never know. But Ryan, that is my experience with Big Red. So I had to share that with
Big Red and the big hockey dude. I got to say, funniest experience back in Toronto, way back in the day.
Yep.
I got the same thing. I got paired up, a buddy of mine and I got paired up with these two random guys. And one of them, the guy said, what's your name? He said, Chef. I'm like, Chef.
Chef.
Yeah, Chef. He was the chef at the golf club and he was playing around. And on all, he was probably like 5'2", 300 pounds. And
don't hate us vertically challenged people.
No, but I mean, this guy was
how
like,
sensitive I am.
I know, I'm sorry, but you're like
Andre.
But yeah, Chef. So he used to write Chef on all of his golf balls, and he was, I said, what would you hit? Well, Chef would hit a 7 here, and I'm like, talked about himself in the third person. It was incredible. Beautiful. But I really think that we should call Big Red and definitely go golfing with them. I think that.
Big Red. You know what? He just kind of made you feel better about yourself. So I gotta say, Big Red, you are a walking Lexapro. So thank you for the laugh, man. So it was great. It was funny. But Ryan, you actually shared a really funny story with me. So I feel like you're going through. Well, you inspired me with this lifestyle change of dieting and eating healthy and exercising. Just being healthy for yourself. But tell me about this new beautiful Peloton.
So
that story you shared with me for the listeners.
Yes, I'm laughing thinking about it. So Amanda and I last night went out for dinner for the first time in like a year.
Yep.
And
what was that, by the way?
It was good. It was a little bit like little anxiety, pop an extra Lexapro before we got there, but I felt very safe, very spaced out. It was good. We went super early to really hit the old timers crowd at 5:00, and it was good. We got home at a very normal hour, clearly. And so our Peloton, Amanda, for those who don't know, is an aerobics instructor, a spin instructor.
Nice.
She's very nice. She's very healthy and she likes to work out. And obviously since COVID, she hasn't been going to the gym, that kind of stuff.
Check out the glutes on that one. Back to you.
So she's like, I really want to order the Peloton. I'm like, of course, let's order a Peloton. It'll make you happy. It'll be good for me too. So last night she's like, do you want to like jump on the bike and just see what it's all about? So the bike came with I guess they're called spin shoes. And I decided, like, I'm just jumping on here to try that. I was in boxer briefs. I mean, it is what it is. And
Andre.
she's like, okay, so sit on the bike and you clip your shoes in. I'm like, what do you mean you clip your shoes in? She's like, well, the pedals have these specific holsters and you clip your shoes in. I'm like, okay. So after 10 minutes of failing miserably to get my like shoes into these things, she was like underneath the bike trying to like manipulate my foot into the thing. I was hysterically laughing. I mean, it was just so ridiculous. Finally get my shoes in there, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? We'll just ride it. So I rode for 10 minutes, just did like a very, very entry level beginner, probably like difficulty level of like 0.5 out of 10.
You're not a beginner in my eyes, Daddy.
Thank you. And then when we're done, I'm like, okay, very cool. Like I could definitely see myself trying to get used to this, whatever. Couldn't get my feet out of the pedals.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we tried for 5 minutes, and then finally I was like, forget this. I just unclipped the shoes and like left them attached to the pedals. And then we had to watch a YouTube video of how to unclip it. So finally got there. It was very entertaining for anyone who knows me. Like I've never done aerobics classes. I've never done stuff like that. So it's definitely not my comfort zone. And when you're sitting on those tiny little bike seats for all the men out there, I mean,
how's your junk feel, brother?
Yeah, it absolutely smushes your ball sack. There's no way around it. Like, I mean, if you have even the smallest balls you could possibly have, it's just like, it literally puts your balls to sleep.
Huckleberries.
It puts them to sleep. Like, Andre.
To all our listeners out there that actually own a Peloton,
yeah.
Have you experienced anything like this with A, huckleberries, and B, anything in regards to your shoes getting stuck? We'd love to hear some Peloton stories. So make sure you comment on our Insta page.
Yeah, and feel free to also look me up. My handle is lovehandles23. I'm not gonna lie, Dan was very instrumental in helping me with that, but he was gonna go with love handles 24/7. So I'm hoping he gets it and we just absolutely assassinate all of these Peloton classes and just finish like 1 and 2 in like the beginner entry level 5-minute rides. We're gonna be in those freaking cycling shorts, like spandex, like Lance Armstrong Tour de France with like a helmet.
Incredible.
You're gonna walk into my house and see me in like a full thing with sunglasses and like
you gotta get the biker helmet and everything.
Oh yeah, makes me aerodynamic. Oh yeah. Full spandex.
Full spandex. How great would it be if we did a Peloton class and the instructor called, all right, Love Handles 23 and Love Handles 24/7. What's going on? You guys are in the red. Pick up the pace.
You guys are slacking. Like Andre.
Leave us alone. Andre, dude, that is incredible. I cannot wait to hear. I know quite a few, dude, I'll tell you, since this whole COVID pandemic thing, a lot of people aren't able to go to gyms anymore. So you know what? Investing money in working out and making sure they're healthy and staying fit and getting the Pelotons. Peloton is it's a very popular brand, and I'm not gonna lie, you are tempting me. Lindsay and I keep talking about investing in it, so I think it's something we're gonna do. I keep saying we're gonna do it, but anyways, over it. Whatever. Hey Ryan, let me ask you something. I want to talk to you about fast food chains, and not the food itself, but the fast food chain cleanliness. Have you ever had a code red of making a dookie or an emergency? I'm gonna make dookie in any type of fast food restaurants?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm one of those people that if I could obviously avoid it, I prefer not to go dookie at a fast food place. But like, I mean, sometimes, as you know better than most, nature calls.
Nature calls. You have to answer.
So I kind of have like a tier level.
Sure.
So my bottom tier is kind of like the McDonald's, Burger Kings, and KFCs of the world. My mid tier would be like places like Michael's, Office Depot, or Staples, Target. Like, depends. But I would say, in my own experiences, I would say that I found McDonald's to be the worst. Just absolutely disgusting. Like, you walk in and either find a homeless person, all due respect to homeless people. Like, you walk in, the guy's like, like, okay.
All's taken.
Exactly. Like, okay. Or just like people that just don't give a shit to clean them up properly. So like, you walk in and there's like just shit all over the place or piss all over the place. So, but Ryan, I would say in my own experiences, which is clearly not as many as yours, that I would say McDonald's to me seems to be the worst. Now, granted, I haven't had to take a shit in like an Arby's or
you haven't lived until
I know. So I would sort of, again, I would throw that over to the renowned expert in this department. And
Well, yeah, I'm glad you asked, Ryan. So I actually, unfortunately, do have a lot of experience with this. And so I have 3 tiers. So it's first class, business class, and then coach. Okay. So obviously, first class cleanliness restaurants are like top of the top. Now, I'm not talking about like your steakhouses. I'm talking about fast food joints. Okay. CVS pharmacies, for example, would be another good option. So I'm going to give you my list of my first class options. So for those of you, for the listeners out there that you're driving and you have a tummy ache and you need to pull over and you just know you can't make it, let me give you some options. Let Ryan and I help you out with this. Because again, this is very serious. Obviously with COVID-19, with mental health issues going on right now, it's a very serious topic, but so is going caca, especially when you can't hold it. So Ryan, I'm going to give you the first class, business class, and coach. Are you ready?
I've never been more ready.
Okay, so let's start off with coach. Okay. Now this is if you're breaking a sweat, right? And you're like, I don't care where I need to go. I just need to go. So the coach experience that I've experienced in my life, Taco Bell. Taco Bell is one of the last places on earth that you want to go to when you have to go to the restroom. Taco Bell, KFC, a Taco Bell KFC combo. Don't want to do it. Believe me, you don't want to do it. And then Miami's not gonna do it. So Miami Subs has also hit that criteria. So you have the coach, which is Miami Subs, Taco Bell, KFC, and then your Taco Bell KFC combo restaurants. Don't do it. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about business class. Okay. So business class is a little bit more upscale. Okay. It's not the creme of the crap, but it's up there. So business class, I consider for if you have to make an emergency stop, Subway. You know what to expect with Subway. But then some people are saying, well, wait a minute, Subway doesn't serve breakfast in the morning. And what if I'm driving to a meeting? And Ryan is literally losing his shit as we speak. Subway is up there. Subway to me is a business class type of stop. You got Subway. Now, I agree with you. I think McDonald's is very, very hit or miss. I think it could be very hot. I think it could be ugly. I think it could be beautiful. You don't know. So we're not even going to put McDonald's in this category. It should be like a default, like at your own risk. I'm going to put Burger King. Burger King is middle class, business class facility that you could use. I think Burger King is fine. So what do we have, Ryan? Can you do the countdown with me? We have for business class, we have Burger King. We have Subway. We have Burger King. We have Subway. So those are business class. Okay. And then also for the business class, we're going to go with Pollo Tropical. Oh. So Pollo Tropical is another the restaurant. The food is delicious, by the way. Trappy Chaps are delicious. But
didn't you get food poisoning from there once?
Yeah. Yeah. Ryan, water gives me food poisoning. So
it's a very fair point.
Bad example. So Pollo Tropical made it to business class. So I'm happy to say. But now let's talk about first class restaurants.
I'm dying to hear this.
We're not even talking about the food. We're talking about the cleanliness of the restrooms. Number 1 for Sharf, for me, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A it's like a golden mecca for restrooms. So if you are driving and you see a golden mecca, if you see a Chick-fil-A and you don't even have to go to the bathroom, you stop anyways. Just go and just stop and go.
Check out the scenery.
Check out the scenery. Dude, also in Chick-fil-A, they have these toilet bowls that they're raised up. It's like a throne. Okay. So it's such a great feeling. So Chick-fil-A to me is number 1. And the great thing about Chick-fil-A is it's open breakfast, lunch, and dinner, except Sundays.
Sundays, exactly.
But who's on the road literally having to go to the bathroom driving? Probably me.
You.
So I have to say that Chick-fil-A is number 1. I want to say Chipotle is the cleanliness of the restrooms it's very good. I highly recommend it. So we got Chick-fil-A, we got Chipotle, and number 3 for first class for fast food restaurants is Wendy's.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a shocker.
Not expecting that at all.
No. Listen, from my experience with Wendy's, I would say I've had more good experiences than bad experiences. So again, if everyone, the listeners out there, Ryan and I just gave you our 2 cents of the cleanliness order for restrooms for fast food in case you have an emergency pit stop. So just keep that in mind. Right, back to you.
That was honestly one of the funniest things I've heard you go through. I don't know how much I contributed to that, but that was phenomenal. Now, I got to say, I think the reason Dan likes Wendy's so much is because he has so much experience there. If you know Dan, he loves a good cup of chili. So I think what he basically does is he goes through the drive-through,
Yep.
he parks, eats the chili. By the time he's done eating, he goes into the Wendy's, shits his brains out, and then leaves.
That is 100% accurate. I can't even make it home.
That was phenomenal. I would love to I would love to hear some of our
Why don't we make it a poll question?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
For our listeners, some people might say we're sick as hell. Others might want to, jump in on this. So I would love to get back on that.
And just trust me, from somebody who has been fortunate enough to spend a ton of time with Dan, especially in restaurants of all kinds, in all different places, and then in the car with him afterwards, he knows his shit. Literally. Literally knows his shit.
I own that shit.
Like, I've seen him before. I mean, I've seen him think that he was going to be okay to get back to our office and then literally have to stop on the way and break a toilet somewhere. I've seen him have to be dropped off at the front of our office building because he can't even make it literally the 2-minute drive from the restaurant back to the parking space. So like, we had one time where someone, our good friend Jason Speakman, I believe, was in the car, and he's actually a huge fan, and we appreciate the support. So
shout out to the Speakster.
Yeah, the Speakmeister. So I think he was in the car with us and had to drop Dan off literally at the front door to be able to run inside, and like couldn't even make it upstairs. Like, we're talking main floor, like explosive diarrhea, like just category 5 NATO. So yeah, I mean, one of the listeners actually requested we talk a little bit more about Dan's IBS. So I think this gives you some great insight into the world of Dan.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it,
Andre.
So there you go, folks. So now you have our order of cleanliness for restrooms for fast food, and I hope you enjoyed that segment. But Ryan, I think the listeners want to know, we during this COVID-19 and people not able to see each other, it's been really tough. But you and I, we had a play date. Why don't you share it with the listeners?
Danny came over to my house and we play outside with masks on. We had so much fun, and I had a barbecue.
Oh, you. Right. Tell us about the play date, buddy.
So, yeah, it was
actually for having us over.
Yeah, so it was phenomenal. You want to talk about a dose of Lexapro? That was like a shot of Lexapro. I mean, that was absolutely phenomenal. So my 2 daughters and Dan's daughter Reagan are very, very close and absolutely adore each other. And Dan and I talked about, obviously, like Dan said, it's been quite some time since they've been able to do anything. So we said, you know what, the Sharfs, Dan and his beautiful wife Lindsay, and the kids came over, and we ordered food. We sat outside. The kids were playing soccer in the backyard. It's like they're all pre-programmed, to wear masks. So we honestly don't even have to tell them.
No,
which is incredible.
Let me tell you something, Ryan. If a 4-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 10-year-old can wear masks without issues, there's no reason why others can't.
Totally agree with you. But it was amazing. It was just like Amanda said, it was the most normal thing. Like, feeling most like normal thing that we've done. We literally haven't had anyone over to our house for like close to a year. And I mean, especially like I said, we moved. So it was so nice just to be able to sit and talk and hang out. Dan brought me my hat, which was phenomenal. He brought Amanda her hat, which was phenomenal.
I got it up the merch store at www.2datspodcast.com, and we are live.
We are live. But it was awesome. It was like, in a time where things have been so abnormal, like I said, it was literally the most normal feeling thing we've done. We even had time to give Dan a quick haircut outside, special talent of mine, and
tight.
But no, it was amazing. It was so good to see you guys. So good. Like, the kids just had the best time. They were talking about it for days in advance, and then talking about it the next, like that night, the next day.
I don't know who had more fun, the kids or us.
I would say it was a tie.
Yeah, I think it was a tie.
It was a tie, but it was amazing. We brought food in, and it was like, the weather was beautiful. It was perfect. And you know what? We said we're gonna make this kind of like a more continuous type of thing.
I
Consistent.
agree. And good thing my fever went away before we came over too. So
Oh my God, if your fever hadn't have gone away, we would have had big problems.
we had big issues.
And I got to hold Cameron. I got to feed Cameron. It was so nice. We got to let you guys eat and enjoy, but it was amazing. It was like, again, it was just such a dose of normalcy. So it was phenomenal.
Thank you for you and Amanda holding and feeding Cameron.
Absolutely. Our pleasure.
So let me know what I owe you on Venmo, okay?
But you know what? We ended up, Dan's been talking about his lifestyle change, and we're in week 3 now.
We are on week 3. Today is week 3. Yes.
And we were sort of talking. Yeah, we were talking about what kind of food we want to order. What do we want to get? We ended up ordering like a really great, delicious but healthy option.
Yep.
That I know you guys enjoyed, and I want you to sort of update everybody, because there's been a lot of feedback, great feedback, a lot of inspiring people. Why don't you share with everybody what's been going on? You had your 2-week weigh-in, and then we'll go through some of your delicious side dishes from last week, and we'll go from there.
Great. Well, let me tell you something, Ryan. Again, thank you for having us over. Yeah, dinner was awesome, dude. We had cauliflower crusted pizza, and the toppings that we had were turkey and ice cubes. And to me, it couldn't have been any healthier or any more delicious. So, Ryan, kudos to you on that. It was fabulous. We had a great time. But yeah, man, to your point, we are officially on week 3 of this lifestyle change of eating healthy and working out. And dude, I'm down 9.5 pounds in 2 weeks.
Unbelievable.
Dude, I got to tell you, man, it just, what, to me, I don't care what the scale says. Honestly, I don't care what the number is. All I know is
shit.
Yeah, that's a lie. But I just feel better mentally, physically. I feel like I look a little better, and it's awesome, dude. I'm definitely dedicated into jogging, or some Americans will call it jogging. So a big fan of the jogging. I'm up to about 2.5, 3 miles of jogging now, which is awesome. Doing it about 5-6 days a week. Wasn't able to do it today. It was a busy day today, but it's all good. But no, the diet, and I don't even want to say dieting. It's dieting is kind of like depressing to say. I just want to say, being more aware of what you're eating. So last week's menu, Rye, week 1, we were focused mainly on turkey.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty much, what we were focusing on. Week 2, we actually changed things up quite a bit. We added feta to the mix. So we had not only turkey, but we had a lot of feta. We had a lot of blackened chicken, which is, the chicken is a cousin of the turkey.
It's Cayenne with the soft J. Cayenne.
Hey, y'all. We had a lot of rice cakes with 1/10 of a teaspoon of peanut butter. So that was delicious.
Wait, Dan actually, sorry to interrupt you, but Dan actually, what he does is he starts the week off with 1 rice cake.
Yep.
He goes outside. Lindsay holds a massive Ziploc. He crushes the rice cake into pieces, and he divides it into portions for each day.
For the week.
And then Lindsay
has to last for the week.
Flicks them at him, and if he catches it in his mouth, he gets to eat it. And then he takes a little bit of peanut butter, and he's like, "Nummy in my tummy."
Yum yum in the tum tum. Yeah. So yeah, man. No, we're doing a lot of spinach, a lot of greens, a lot of salads, a lot of fruits. Fucking fruit.
What you eat, brah?
Yeah, brah. We've had honestly, dude. And the cool thing is, again, I don't know if the listeners recall, but week 1, Lindsay and I, we had a great date night, and we had a little bit of a cheat meal. Had a few drinks, had a burger without the bun, and a baked potato, and you still lost weight. This week, same thing. Ate really fresh this week. Didn't have any adult beverages this weekend, but again, had that cauliflower crusted pizza with ice cubes, and it was delicious. Even had a cookie, and I still lost some weight, and I feel great, and it's gonna be fine. But Ryan, I am concerned. There is a concern that I have.
Tell me about the concern.
So I've noticed eating healthy or eating, a lot cleaner, it's making me constipated.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. You know what? Dan actually shared this with me. And
yeah,
for those who know Dan, and again, we've discussed this sort of at length because we feel like it's just a big part of Dan. He literally shits on average. I would say your average is what, like 6 to 9 times a day. And we're not even joking. This is
on a slow day.
On a slow day. But this is not an exaggeration. I mean, when you talk of somebody with an active bowel, you should literally have Dan's picture beside their face, or beside the description. So you're talking 6 to 9 days, and Dan calls me. He's like, yeah, this is really crazy. Like, ever since I've been eating like this, he's like, it's completely changed my bathroom habits. Yep. And he says to me, he goes, I'm like how? He's like, I'm going so much less. I'm like, what's so much less? He's like, 3 times a day. I'm like, holy fuck, you're constipated. Get that fella a fleet enema and let it flow. Let it flow like the rivers of Babylon.
But maybe
It's crazy though, right? It completely changes your digestive
Yeah,
system.
it's insane, man. Because I listen. Some people don't enjoy going to the restaurant. To me, it's like it's a little me time. It's fine. But yeah, dude, we're averaging like 2 to 3 times a day. I'm like, is this normal? Is this what normal people go through? So not sure if I'm a fan of it, but it'll do, buddy. But yeah, it was definitely concerning. So maybe I'll call my GI doctor and see what he says.
You might want to put in a call and just maybe get a little telehealth visit and show him what's going on down below the belt.
Virtual visit. I don't want to hit my deductible.
So Dan's, we were laughing, like Dan said, we were laughing because everything in the first week was like turkey meatballs, turkey cheese, turkey pizza, turkey, keeping boar's head, your turkey choice at Publix. But we actually had one of our listeners, again, Jason Speakman, send us a great picture of his lunch, and he was having boar's head turkey. So we had a good chuckle and a good giggle over that. But last week, Dan went more into the chicken variety. So
big poultry fan.
Yeah, big poultry fan. He had like the buffalo chicken, the blackened chicken, the Cajun chicken,
coconut chicken,
shrimp. So it's cool to see because again, it's amazing to see. Firstly, after seeing him in person, like I see him on the screen, but seeing him in person, it's so obvious that he's lost a really good amount of weight.
Hi.
And he looks phenomenal. He like you said, he's less tired. He has more energy. He feels better, and that to him is what it's all about. Especially the time.
All about, brother.
He's trying to be healthy.
Get you everywhere with me, fella.
Okay, but it's amazing just to see because you're right. Like you can add different things in. You can subtract things. You can spoil yourself a little bit. Treat yourself a little bit. When you say diet, treat yourself. Treat yourself. But no, it's amazing. Like I've said to you, I'm super super proud of you. Keep it up. You're doing amazingly.
Thanks, Daddy.
You look wonderful, darling. I want to fix you up with my daughter.
Like, hi. A big shout out to my sister-in-law and her boyfriend, who are Nicole and Noah, who are definitely inspirational. Definitely motivated me. about the whole working out scenario and eating healthy, and they've done a phenomenal job. They both look awesome. They both continue to work out and eat healthy, and they were definitely a motivating factor for me to get back on the horse. So quick shout out to our 2 other listeners, Noah and Nicole. Let me just say thank you.
And if you want to see a glorious picture of Noah with the fresh merch, check out our Instagram. He is on there and he is live.
He's there and he is live. So Ryan, I appreciate the update for our listeners, brother, but I got to speak to Toby, your mom.
Yes, you did.
We FaceTimed her on Saturday night. But tell the listeners, what's the new deal? What's the new stories? How's our Tobes McGoats? How is Toby doing this week? Give us a Toby update.
I appreciate you asking, and she was so happy to talk to you. She didn't remember it 3 seconds afterwards, but it was great while it lasted. No, I'm kidding. That was a joke. I was just trying to make you laugh while you were drinking. She absolutely adores Dan. She got to see Cameron. She got to see Reagan. She got to say hi to Lindsay. But so every week is a little different, like you said. And we've had a lot of great feedback about Toby and about Lily, who we love and adore. And this week, the funny thing was one of many funny things, but my sister FaceTimed my mom with my nephews. And my mom was sitting wearing a mask. And my sister recognized clearly that she was in her condo. So she said, "Mom, are you okay? Why are you wearing a mask?" And she said, "Well, you want to know why I'm wearing a mask?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's why I asked." My sister was concerned maybe she's leaving and going somewhere on her own, like she doesn't know.
Random strangers in her house, you don't know.
Exactly. Yep. So she said the reason I'm wearing a mask is because Joe Biden was just here. my sister goes,
Biden.
My sister's like, "What?" She's like, "This isn't the first time he's been here. Like, don't you know?" Oh, and I mean, we've gotten to the point now where you just go along with what she's saying because A, it irritates her, and B, like, what's the point, right? There's just no point. Let her enjoy what she's telling us. So when the election was, just before the election happened and the campaigning was going on, she called me one night and told me that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were in her place and they came to visit her. And I said, "Really?" "Yep." They had a special, this special type of lift that lifted them up onto her balcony and dropped and I can't even say it, dropped them off for a visit, and she showed them around her place and whatever, and they were very, very nice. He was a lovely, lovely person, wonderful human being. And I said, "Mom, this is incredible. You live in Canada, and Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came to visit you. You think this is the first time?" So this was the thing. And
How was the visit? What did they talk about?
what's that?
What did Joe Biden and Kamala Harris talk
I'm
about?
really happy you asked. I don't know, but apparently they just loved her place, think she's a wonderful person. She told them all about myself and my sister and our kids. And I don't know. That was it. And the thing is now that she actually believes when she's watching television, she thinks that the people on the screen are in her place.
Oh, God bless Toby. Oh.
Right. So she's had all kinds of people over. She's had hockey players over, football players over, politicians in both Canada, the United States, and Zimbabwe. It just goes on and on. But she's a regular contributor to CNN and Fox News, and that's pretty much it.
You know what? First and foremost, we love you, Toby. If you're listening, just know how much we love you. You're a saint.
Listening.
Okay, she's not listening. So anyway, regardless, we love her. But the great thing is, Ryan, and the fact that you keep such a positive attitude about everything, the thing that, that keeps me going with Toby is the fact that, she's happy and she meets new people every day. Every single day.
I love it. I have new neighbors. I just met them today. Oh, great. And the new neighbors again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day.
Friends are very powerful people. So you don't want to get Toby's bets.
Don't fuck with Toby. She's friends with the
You not fuck with Toby, man. That's awesome. Well,
maybe she can get a break on my taxes and you too. You never know. But yeah, no, she's great. A lot of celebrities, big celebrity whore. And that's about it. How is my beautiful Lily doing this week?
Lily's doing well, brother. Lily's doing well. She is there and she is doing it, and she is a big fan of the podcast. So, Mom, thank you so much for your love and support.
Thank you, Lily. We love you.
We got your messages. We have to find your messages on our website. So I'm not sure where you wrote it, but we will find it. And then obviously Lily's doing good. Mimi, everyone, I think the podcast knows Mimi. Mimi's doing fabulous. She's fantastic.
Love Mimi. Big fan of Mimi.
I love Mimi. She's the best. Mimi and Coley and Lindsay and everyone's doing good, brother. I appreciate you asking, man. But I wanted to talk to you about something. I wanted to get your opinion, and I also want to get the listeners' opinion on this. So we had Reagan's soccer game on Saturday. It was the last game of the season. And, of course, they do it bright and early. First thing, and it's like you're getting up for work. You're rushing. You got to get them fed. You got to get changed, brush their teeth, let them go to the bathroom. And by the way, for those that have kids and multiple kids, it's obviously it's stressful. But they're excited. They're excited about the soccer. They're excited about, what they're going to see their friends. So Lindsay and I, and Cameron, we go to the park with Reagan. We take her to the soccer field, and she is just so excited, ready to rock and roll. And I couldn't help notice as we're walking to the field, I must have seen, I don't know, 15 kids with their parents, and all the kids look so thrilled and happy. And I'm looking at every parent looking so pissed off and so miserable. And I'm like, this brings me back to Disney World. It's like Disney, like the kids have a great time at the parks, but the parents are freaking miserable. So Ryan, have you experienced this? Is it bad that I told my wife a few times this season that, hey, you know what? Not really feeling it. Why don't we just call out sick on this game? Why don't we just run the yellow card on this one? Have you ever done that? Number one, have you ever called out sick to miss a game because you're just too tired, you don't want to deal with it? And number two, have you seen parents that were just not feeling it? Am I crazy? Am I an asshole?
You're not an asshole and you're not crazy. So I would say for you guys, having a newborn makes it a lot more difficult. You're sleep deprived. It changes your schedule up. It's a lot harder to get out of the house, that sort of thing. I totally get that. From my perspective, when the girls played soccer, I never did. At certain times.
But you think about it.
Yeah, you think about it, but I mean, for
me, right?
But for me, when I was I actually volunteered and coached a couple of times as they got older. And I used to remember there were some times where there were 8 o'clock games on Saturdays. And I used to get on the group text with the parents. Oh yeah, we're not so-and-so. Jenny's not going to be able to make it tomorrow morning because her toe hurts. Or more like you're hungover and you don't want to get your lazy ass out of bed because you were out drinking all night last night. But I'm sure her toe busted. Or you would have those parents that would just be like, yeah, we're not making the 8 o'clock game. Like they wouldn't even make an excuse. They would just say, no, not happening.
At least they were honest. And that's
right. So those are the times where I'd have to pretend to get on my knees and have pigtails and pretend I was like a 6-year-old kid. Like, but yeah, exactly. Or you pull kids off other teams because you literally couldn't field enough players for a team. Then you would have the parents that would say they were coming that just wouldn't show up. Which was always that.
Is this a good pod question? I think we should have
I think I think it is. And then you would have the ones like you're saying that would just be angry as shit. Like they would show up begrudgingly. They would yell at their kids, "Get out of the car!"
Put on your cleats.
Put on your cleats and get your shoes done up and put on your shorts or you're gonna get a penalty. Take your earrings out.
Like, yeah, they sound like Katie does when she's hangry. And it was like uncomfortable because they would show up and they would just on the sidelines like this. Your kid just scored. Fuck you. Okay. So they were there.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Right, exactly. They were there, but it was kind of like they were there because either their significant other forced them to be there, or they had no other choice.
Yep.
Or they thought they were being a good parent, but they made their kid feel guilty as shit. Like, why do I have to go in soccer? So I think it's a great question. I don't think what you're there every week. Like, I mean, give yourself.
No, we've actually, I might have suckered myself into volunteering to being
not a bad thing. Reagan will love it.
So it's for some reason it's on the bucket list as a dad.
Yeah.
So let's see how many seasons I'll last. Let's see if I'll even last one season, and we will go from there, buddy. But I know we're coming up on time, so really quick, one last story I wanted to share with you, Rye, in regards to Cameron's 2-month shots.
Yeah.
Today he was a champ, dude. He was a champ. I'd love to hear some stories from our listeners of who have kids. If they have any horror stories they'd love to share with us on our website, on our Insta, in regards to, how did the kids react? Who took it worse? Was it the child or was it the parents? I will flat out admit, Cameron cried for probably a minute. I was crying for about 15 minutes. So I slowly got over it. The boo-boo hut. But I slowly got over it. I think I might have to go to therapy for seeing him that upset. But he did it. He's tough as nails, and even Mama Bear was tough as nails on this one. I told her I was going there to help support her, but I felt like I was the one that needed support. So it's totally worth it. It's totally fine. But that's my story, my brother. What do you got going on for the rest of the week?
Well, little Peloton, got to get those shoes in and out, and nothing, man. I just want to. This week is a lot of stuff going on with work, which is great. So it's busy, but. Trying to finish off the last few things at the house and try to get some working out in. And that's it. I've been trying to read more lately because I think it's good for you. My ADD kicks in and I'm not so great at focusing sometimes, but I'm definitely
very adult of you.
Thank you so much.
Very adult of you. Okay. I want to know actually how many listeners take the time to read a book, for fun or for enjoyment. I want to know the percentage. I know I don't read. I should read.
It's good for your mind.
Good for your mind. Does like Sun Sentinel, does sports sections, do Sports Illustrated, does that count?
Yeah, absolutely does.
Okay, all right, then I guess I'm one of the 2%, that are brilliant. So
that's it. What about you? What do you have going on for the week?
You know what, buddy? Same thing. We got lots of work. We got the family time. We got drive-by birthdays this weekend, and can't wait.
A shitload of turkey.
Yeah, a shitload of turkey and poultry. So can't wait, and can't wait to share all the stories this week to our callers for next week. But again, to all our listeners out there, thank you so much again for taking the time to listen to Two Dads Podcast, Season 1, Episode 4. Rye Guy, as always, my brother. Always appreciate you, my man. You want to sign us off?
Absolutely. It's been great. Like Dan said, we appreciate the support. We will have more fun to go with next week. And later for the mange.
Later for the mange.
Andre.